It's never a dull day in the Hollywood space when you get to talk about virtue signaling actors, and one of which is almost always Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is probably one of the most hardcore shill leftists that are available right now in Hollywood. This man literally spends his entire day on Twitter virtue signaling to different kind of democratic policies, different kind of things that will make his overlords very happy. And now, unfortunately, we have another iteration of this. So apparently, Mark Hamill has just recently virtue signaled on Twitter over the Ukraine war, and he's using autographed Star Wars posters in order to do it. Yes, this man right here, Mark Hamill, this son of a he is using Star Wars posters, signed posters, to try to virtue signal over the Ukraine war. This man is insane, all right? He is literally just a paid shill that uses his Twitter account for anything other than entertainment. I don't think I've honestly ever seen him talk about entertainment on his Twitter feed. He strictly talks about politics, and that's what I think he wishes he could be in. So let's see what this article from Bounding Into Comics has to say. It says Mark Hamill virtue signals over Ukraine war with autographed Star Wars posters. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill hasn't had an easy go of things lately, what with liking a tweet from anti-trans activist and Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, which put him directly in the radical left's crosshairs. Perhaps to repair his credibility with the left, Hamill has now decided to pull a Sean Penn by participating in a virtue signaling campaign drive to aid Ukraine in their fight against Russian forces. Now, again, I thought it was hilarious when Mark Hamill was getting canceled for liking a tweet from J.K. Rowling. I thought it was fantastic because whenever I see them eat their own, it literally is the best thing in the world. Because they do it all the time. Let's be real. Like, they constantly eat their own, which is the entire reason why J.K. Rowling ended up getting quote-unquote canceled in the first place, because she made one factual statement about biological men invading women's spaces, and the left lost their mind and decided they no longer deem her necessary. So it says, and yes, it's every bit as cringeworthy as it sounds. So when we look at this tweet, it says, join the resistance to a real-life evil empire. Hashtag Slava Ukraini. Unbelievable. Haven't we given enough money? Haven't we honestly given enough money to Ukraine? Seriously? I mean, come on, dude. Like, this guy, Mark Hamill, man, I'm so sad that this is the guy who played Luke Skywalker. It's unfortunate, but he is the man who did play Luke Skywalker, and I can enjoy the fact that he played Luke Skywalker very well by also calling him insane, because that's exactly what he is. It says the actor teamed up with Volodymyr Zelensky's Ukrainian fundraising platform United24 to auction off a series of Star Wars posters autographed by Hamill for the purpose of raising funds to buy RQ-35 high-run reconnaissance drones. That has left many people scratching their heads in both confusion and suspicion, giving U.S. interests in economic participation in the Ukraine war. I do think it's very sus, the amount of money that the United States government has given the Ukrainian people. I think it's extremely sus, and they keep sending money over there, and some of the money that they're sending, actually a lot of the money they're sending, has nothing to do with the war itself. It's like setting people up over there, giving them retirement funds and all this. It's very interesting, considering they won't do that for their own people here, but still, it's very strange. I'm not going to say it's laundering money or anything like that, but I'm just going to say it's a little strange. There's a lot of interest that are involved within this whole Ukrainian war, and it's not as simple as people make it out to be. It says Hamill tweeted out, join the resistance to a real-life empire, evil empire, where he summarizes the autographed posters featuring Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter going toe-to-toe with the nose of an Imperial Star Destroyer. The word resist is shown at the bottom in a traditional Star Wars font, followed by stand with Ukraine and its flag underneath. That is fucking disgusting. That is disgusting. They're making Ukrainian fucking Star Wars posters, man. Like, God, how cringy is this? How cringy is this, man? The virtue signaling fluff doesn't stop there, however. In not so subtle fashion, the poster depicts Luke's X-Wing fighter brimming with the traditional Ukraine colors, yellow and blue, while the Imperial ships don Russian red and blue. An accompanying video shows Hamill doing propaganda about the nature of good and evil in real life, where he states there are no superheroes, Jedi Knights, time machines, or magic wands. Instead, there are millions of real people standing up to real evil. Man, this dude is just cringy as hell, bro. He's cringy as hell, bro. I can't. Just reading about this just makes me go like, Like, why would you want to buy this? The only people who are buying this are trying to launder money or get tax write-offs or something. There's no way that people are buying this seriously. And if they are, my God, you have drank the Kool-Aid to a level which there's no way you're going to stop. It says in this case, by raffling off 5 autographed Star Wars posters for those who donate 100 or more, while the other 5 will be given to those who donate 10,000 or more. In Mark Hamill's world, this is what standing up to an evil empire looks like, as opposed to picking up a weapon and marching on the front lines. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of people people who rather do their activism through the comfort of their home, which I do find pretty lazy compared to old school activists who would actually get out there and do stuff. Most activists now, who or people who claim to be activists, are just doing it from their iPhones that they got from a slave, company. It's like, you don't even realize what you're doing. You have no idea the irony in half of what these people are saying. They're always protesting this, protesting that, but they're actually not protesting anything. They don't go out and do anything. Most of them stay home and do it from their phones. Twitter is not activism, but unfortunately for a lot of people, they think it is. The rebukes came fast, with some Twitter users like Dr. Swigs pointing out the ugliness of Hamil carrying Ukraine's water while simultaneously doing nothing for citizens of Ohio who are currently suffering health problems after a train carrying hazardous chemicals derailed in East Palestine. Todd A. Jobson Sr. pointed out the ridiculous nature of the campaign, while speaking about the progressive left constantly turning a blind eye to Vladimir Zelensky's tyrannical power grabs and rights violations against his own people and within his own government. And finally, user Len Combs pointed out the obvious in a reply where he accused Hamil of campaigning to sell drones for the military-industrial complex. While the nature of this war isn't black and white, there's no denying that certain entities are quite happy to profit off of this war, while continuing to reject any notion of a negotiated off-ramp. And that's what I was mentioning before, the fact that there is a lot of people involved in the Ukrainian war. It is not a black and white sort of a thing. They would like to sell it to you as that. They would like to sell you, oh, Russian big bad, Ukraine big good. That's how they would like to sell it to you. But let's be real. Anytime there's a situation of war, it's never black and white. I don't care what anyone says. War is a very, very, very gray area half the time. And you have to look at all things that are involved. I guarantee with all my being that this is definitely a corrupt war without a doubt. You have people who are involved with this particular war that are donating money in our government, and they're doing so because they know they're going to get some of that money once it's transferred to Ukraine, and making it traceable is going to be even harder. These people are self-interested. There is no politician that's not in it for themselves, whether left or the right. So don't trust a single word that you hear about the Ukrainian war. And it's funny, the Ukrainian war completely left the internet for a long time and then decided to all of a sudden come back. I wonder why that is. It's not like the war just randomly stopped for a few months and then decided to come back, so why did you stop talking about it? It's interesting. It says the sheer nonsense and narcissism of this campaign is beyond words, especially given the fact that the United States government has thus far greenlit a grand total of 196 and counting billion fucking dollars in aid to Ukraine, while the Biden administration continues to reject all claims for a negotiated settlement, which is standard foreign policy practice during conflicts such as this one. Auctioning off a few Star Wars posters signed by Mark Hamill seems rather microscopic by comparison, and there's also the question of whether Ukraine even needs the drones to begin with. In addition to shipping highly advanced weaponry and tactical tools to Ukraine, the U.S. government is also providing Zelensky with all of its intel related to Russia, which, according to geopolitical analyst Peter Zahan, is so thorough that it's equivalent to listening in on all of their phone calls. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like I said, without getting further into it, because they're going to start talking about the political aspects of it, it's just an insane thing. It really is an insane thing. And you know what? I just don't see the point in continuing to give them money. But I do believe that it's an extremely corrupt war that unfortunately is going to take a toll on the American people, as it always does. We always are the ones that end up losing. And we flip the bill for everything. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.